Now I'm going to make a statement, and I want you to listen really carefully to me, because we're rapidly moving out of time, and we're going to be done with this broadcast in an hour, because I want to make sure I leave time for the presence of God to minister to your groups and for you all to maybe pray together. But I'm going to make a statement. I want you to write this down. Our holy fear, okay, our holy fear grows proportionally to our comprehension of God's glory. I'm going to say that again. Our holy fear grows proportionally to our comprehension, our understanding of God's glory. And conversely, let me say this, we will diminish God's glory even to the point of human limitations, the less we fear Him. So our holy fear grows, the greater we comprehend and behold God's glory, and we diminish God's glory with the lack of holy fear, even to the point of human limitations. Remember that the elders of Israel were making statements like, the Lord doesn't see us. How can anybody in their right mind say that God doesn't see? When we know from the book of Hebrews, everything is naked and exposed to Him of whom we must give an account. But we'll limit God. We'll reduce Him down to our level the less we fear Him. So it's very important in understanding the awe of God or the glory of God. What is the glory of God? Now, to introduce the glory of God, let me say this, okay? Mortal flesh cannot stand in the presence of God's glory. I want you to write that down. Mortal flesh cannot stand in the presence of God's glory, okay? Paul writes in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 15 and 16, Jesus dwells in unapproachable light, whom no man has seen or can see. Jesus dwells in unapproachable light, whom no man can see or has seen. Along the same lines, we are told in the book of Hebrews that our God is a consuming fire. Now, when you think of a consuming fire, don't think of a log fire in your fireplace, okay? Yeah, that's consuming, but you certainly can approach it. Let's go further. Don't think of the sun. Yes, the sun is consuming, and it is unapproachable. However, as great as the sun is, it has dark spots. Talk to any astronomer about that. In fact, we are told, Paul made this statement in Acts 26. I just read through the book of Acts a couple weeks ago. In Acts 26, verse 13, Paul says, at midday, O king, I want to emphasize, at midday, O king. He's talking to King Agrippa. Along the road, I saw a light from heaven. Now listen to this. Brighter than the sun, shining around me. Brighter than the sun at midday. Now, whoa. We got to talk about this. All right. I have traveled all over the world. I've been to 60 countries. I've traveled to every state in the United States. It is so easy for me to go around without sunglasses. However, the first time I was in Israel, in the Middle East, I will never forget. It is so bright over there. I mean, there's a combination. Number one, it's desert terrain, so there's no humidity reflecting the rays. The terrain is very light colored and noontime, okay? And I remember if I didn't have my sunglasses on, my eyes were like this, okay? I had to close them almost all the way closed because that light was so bright over there. Now, it's not so bad at 8 o'clock in the morning over in the Middle East. It's not so bad at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But you talk about 11, 12, 1 o'clock, it is so bright, you can barely go around without sunglasses. Okay, Paul didn't say at 8 o'clock in the morning, O king. He said at midday, at noon. A light from heaven, it was brighter than the noonday sun. Okay, does that tell you why Joel, Isaiah, and John all say that when Jesus returns, now remember, the glory of God is revealed in the face of Christ Jesus, 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. When Jesus returns, Joel, Isaiah, and John all write this, that the sun's going to be darkened. The moon's not going to give its life, and the star of the constellations are not going to shine. Okay, no, wait, let's talk about this, all right? All right, we know that the sun is one level of brightness or glory. We know that the moon's another and the stars are another, okay? When you walk outside at night, and it's a clear sky, what do you see? You see stars everywhere. There's stars, right? So many stars, especially if you live in like Colorado or Arizona. Stars everywhere, right? What happens in the morning? Right when the sun comes up, whoa, the stars are all gone. Now, what do the stars do? They say, okay, guys, the sun's coming. He's coming. And right when the sun comes up, the stars go wham! And then the sun cruises through the sky. And right as the sun's going down, the stars go, get ready. Here he comes, wham! And they come back out. No, that's not at all what happens. Those stars don't go wham and go away. They're all out there when the sun comes up. But the glory of the sun is one level. The glory of the stars is another level. But the glory of the sun is so much greater than the glory of the stars, it darkens them even though they're still there. Well, when Jesus returns, do you understand now? Glory, okay? He's going to darken the sun, the moon, and the stars because his light is so much greater. So what is the glory of God? What is it? What is the glory or the awe of God? All right, Moses made the statement. He said, God, please show me your glory. All right, what Moses is actually saying is this: show me yourself in all of your splendor. Nothing hidden or held back. The glory, the word for glory is kabod, which means the weight of something. It means majesty, splendor, or honor. Now, God responds to Moses by saying, I will make all my goodness pass before you. Now, goodness means good in the widest sense. In other words, nothing is held back. I will cause all my goodness to pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you. Now, before a king enters into his throne room, right? What happens? All the people are put in their place. The herald blows the horn, the trumpets blast, and the herald announces the king, and the king comes in with all of his royal attire on, and there is no mistake in that throne room who is king. But now if you saw that same king on the streets without any of his attendants walking down the street with a button-down shirt on, you may miss him. Well, when you look at when Jesus was raised from the dead, he's on the shore cooking breakfast for the disciples, and they didn't recognize him. If you look at Mary, she thought he was the gardener. If you look at the boys that were walking on the road to Emmaus, they didn't recognize who Jesus was. Okay? If you look at the Old Testament, Abraham talked to God by the terebinth trees. If you look at Joshua said, are you for us or for them? And he goes, neither. I am the commander of the Lord of hosts. He saw the Lord manifested, and he got down and worshiped, and God didn't rebuke him. Okay? Angels will rebuke him, but it was Jesus. I believe it was the manifest Christ. Okay? And there are other examples. But if you look at the same Apostle John, let's go back to the New Testament, who had breakfast with Jesus by the sea. He sees Jesus in all of his glory on the deserted island of Patmos. Now, he wasn't in his flesh, he was in the spirit. And he fell down on his face like a dead man. This is the apostle that loved Jesus. So you see, he revealed himself in all of his awe, all of his splendor. That is the glory of the Lord. So let me make this statement. The glory or the awe of God is everything that makes God God. All his characteristics, attributes, literally the immeasurable weight and magnitude of God. Nothing is hidden or held back.